About goat farming, you actually don't have to be scared that you need a lot of money. The only thing that will take most of your money is land. If you have your land, the first thing you should think about is housing your goats and how you're going to feed your goats. You need to start planting grass even before you start buying goats. Why? Because if you don't have what your goats will eat and then you buy goats and stock them, it's going to be a challenge for you because goats eat grass. So if you haven't planted grass and then you are stocking goats, it's really going to give you a hard time because you need to feed them well and you need to make sure they are on a good nutrition. A good nutrition starts with the kind of grass you have planted. You can plant maize, you can plant alfalfa, you can plant coriander, so many things that you can do plant. So I advise you that if you're going to start, plant your grass before you get your goats, because that's one of the things that we messed up with when we were beginning. We did not plant grass and then we stocked goats. And I tell you, we've been through a lot of challenges. But now that we started planting grass, we have our own food, we have what they can eat. Now we are in a safer place and we can continue. You need a facility where your goats will be sleeping. So when you're looking to build, I advise you, if you are in a village, look within your locality. Don't go for this expensive housing. I know there are lots and lots of people out there on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere, scaring you from starting your own goat farm because of the kind of structures they are showing you, the modalities of those houses. You are not those people. You don't have the kind of money they have. For us here, we started on a very small scale, and I know there are so many Ugandans, there are so many young people, even old people, who want to start goat farming, but they are scared because of what they see out there. So I advise you, do not jump to the levels of others, jump to your levels. Don't go building expensive goat housing and yet you can't even afford to buy good breeds of goats. And when you're going to do goat farming, make sure you visit a few people who are keeping goats. The people we bought our goats from had different kind of housing. Their kind of housing were not these very modern goat houses. So we followed their examples. We actually built the enclosure where our male goats stay, depending on what we saw out there. And it was cheap. So visit goat farmers, see what they have to say about housing, see what they have to say about stocking. Those will help you make the right decisions. You have to think about water. Water is very important for goats. There are many ways to get water. You can choose to harvest water from the goat enclosure that you have built. You can put gutters, put a water tank and harvest that water. If you have money, you can dig a deep well. That also works for you. But I advise you that make sure you have water within your proximity or close to you or at your farm, so that you can be able to give your goats water whenever they need it, because water is a very key aspect when it comes to goat farming. I know most of us have other things that we are doing and we cannot be at the farm 24/7. So you need to find people that you really trust. And trust me, it's not an easy thing. You have to make sure you get someone who has a spirit for goat farming or even any other kind of farming. Farming is not just a job. It takes passion, it takes creativity, it takes someone who thinks out of a box. That if these goats don't have grass today, can I give them dry grass? If they are not eating enough, can I take them to some place where can I find grass? It takes someone who's creative and mature enough and someone who has passion to take care of the animals. Yes, we have also had challenges with that, but at least we were able to find someone who really cares and has the heart and passion for goat farming. But also you as a person, you have to have manners when it comes to handling workers. Don't treat these people like animals. These are people, so you have to respect them, they respect you, and make sure you learn everywhere you go. Make sure you learn something new and take it back to the farm. These are not graduates, these are not people from Mars, they are local people, so they don't know everything. So it is upon you as the goat farmer to make sure you use every little information you have collected everywhere, bring it and teach it to them. They will improve as time goes on. But if you also just keep on farming from afar, just calling and sending food and just asking about how things are doing, you cannot manage a farm like that. You have to do supervision. You have to make sure you teach your people what you want them to improve. Any corner that you see that is not doing well, make sure you address it. Be it nutrition, be it giving your goats water, be it sanitation, be it spraying, be it vaccination, be it deworming. Everything you have to make sure you get involved. Make sure you visit the farm frequently whenever you get time, and don't just come and look at things and run away. You have to give it time to make sure people learn how you are going to do things. Why am I telling you this? I've always told you we lost pregnancies of our goats. Why? Because even us, that's how we thought that people who are taking care of these goats know everything that they are supposed to do to keep our goats healthy and to keep our goats safe and to keep our goats well fed. But it turned out that they are not specialists. They are not people who know all these things. So we had to make sure we get involved in these things. We had to make sure we teach ourselves. We had to make sure we go to YouTube and find Hamisi and find Value Farm and find farmers from South Africa, everywhere, trying to make sure we get knowledge on how to do this. And when we combined all that knowledge together, now we know what to do. We've been teaching it to our people who are keeping our goats, and things have turned out well. So make sure you get knowledge, and when you get this knowledge, transfer it to your farmers, the people who are keeping your animals. Teach them the things. Gradually they will become pros. They will be doing things that you don't even expect them to do. And as I've always told you, if you don't have a lot of money, don't worry, you can start with local goats. Like they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. If you start with local goats, it's a step you have taken, and at least you have started. Don't be worried about anybody else doing exotic goats, anybody else doing whatever kind of goats they are doing. So when you're going to start, look at the amount of money you have and then stock according to the amount of money you have. Basically, to start, you need land. You need a good housing, but that one you can do it yourself. Don't have to be very expensive. You need to plant grass for your goats. You need to have water around, and you need good people that will take care of your animals. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you have those things, you can start a goat farm. But also remember that you have to give this farm time whenever you can. Make sure at least you visit every weekend. Spend the rest of the day there, spend the rest of the evening there, see how everything is going, and try to improve where you need to. Until next time, see you then.